shot 11 times by the woman who promised to love her forever. 4 bullets in her most intimate areas. This isn't just another crime story. It's a warning about how quickly love can turn lethal. Welcome to the Crime Hour. I sincerely appreciate the steadfast support of my subscribers and viewers. Discover the most compelling true crime tales, both told and untold, every day. Stay informed by subscribing and hit the bell icon now. Let's start the story. Jessica Morgan believed she was simply confronting her wife Catherine about their problems, but in mere moments, the discussion erupted into violence. Catherine fired 11 shots, 4 hitting Jessica's most vulnerable areas, leaving her battling for survival. Yet Catherine claims she acted in self-defense. How could a union spanning 12 years deteriorate into such violence? What triggered Catherine's actions, and what events led to this devastating incident? Jessica Morgan, currently recovering from critical injuries, reveals what transpired inside their home, how the woman she cherished, the woman she relied on, became the one who nearly destroyed everything. This chronicle of betrayal, violence, and a marriage crumbling in the most devastating way began as a peaceful morning, but ended with Jessica barely surviving. As she struggles to recover, the reality of the shooting emerges. For 12 years, Jessica and Catherine shared what others might have coveted. To outsiders, they appeared to be the ideal pair, 2 individuals in love, creating their future. But like many partnerships, appearances were deceiving. Under their seemingly flawless existence, invisible fractures were forming, destined to shatter everything wide open. Cohabiting, working together, and building their life within their community, Jessica and Catherine weathered typical relationship challenges. They observed anniversaries, celebrated holidays, and marked achievements. But while others saw stability, tension grew within their home. Jessica's suspicion began to cloud their relationship. It wasn't mere doubt. It was an ever-present shadow that infected every interaction. Catherine, once deeply devoted, felt trapped. Despite their years together, signs pointed to trouble. Rumors circulated about unfaithfulness, arguments behind closed doors, and unspoken grievances. Both had committed regrettable acts, harsh words exchanged, moments of betrayal. Their once cherished bond now felt like a prison, trapping them both in an endless cycle. Jessica, previously nurturing, had become controlling and possessive, unable to trust. Meanwhile, Catherine felt increasingly alone, as if no escape from the emotional chaos existed. It extended beyond single disagreements or temporary setbacks. Their issues had been intensifying for months, perhaps years. Multiple factors were at play, not just jealousy, but the weight of dishonesty, deceit, and mounting resentment. Catherine wanted out, but sensed an inevitability in their downward spiral. She knew leaving wouldn't be simple, especially facing the fury of someone she once completely trusted. The eventual violence didn't emerge unexpectedly. It was the inevitable outcome of a relationship stretched beyond its limits, the culmination of years of emotional turmoil, lies, and mistrust. Catherine never anticipated such an extreme escalation, but subconsciously recognized the mounting pressure would lead to something irreversible. When it finally erupted, the outcome was as devastating as it was inevitable. Tension had been building for weeks before reaching its breaking point. Jessica and Catherine's relationship, once filled with love and commitment, had been unraveling beyond repair. Jessica spent days restless, questioning how much more she could endure. Catherine's hidden infidelity was the catalyst that ignited everything. That morning began normally, but Jessica knew this discussion was unavoidable. She couldn't ignore it anymore. Jessica decided to request a divorce during their morning coffee. She confronted Catherine, words pouring out, accusations, questions, and pain. Catherine attempted to stay composed, but couldn't hide the truth unfolding between them. Her guilt was evident, and Jessica perceived it like a physical blow. What had been a private betrayal was now exposed. The atmosphere crackled with raw emotion as Jessica, unable to contain herself, demanded explanations, her voice growing louder with each question. Catherine, defensive and refusing to accept responsibility, tried deflecting, but nothing could quell Jessica's anger. Words were exchanged that could never be retracted. Jessica, devastated and broken, announced her desire for divorce. The statement was cutting and final. impossible to withdraw, and Catherine heard its finality. Jessica was finished, but Catherine couldn't accept it. She couldn't envision life without Jessica, despite the pain she'd caused. Desperation emerged, followed by overwhelming fury. In an instant, their heated exchange transformed into something more sinister. Catherine, emotions overflowing, grabbed the gun. Jessica never anticipated what came next. One moment they were arguing. The next, gunshots shattered the silence. Catherine's rage was uncontrolled and sudden as she fired 11 times. The first bullet struck Jessica in an intimate area, causing immediate agony. 4 shots hit her genitals, each bullet sending waves of pain through her body, leaving her barely able to process the situation. But Catherine wasn't finished. 3 more shots pierced Jessica's leg, the impact causing her to stumble as she fought to remain standing despite the excruciating pain. When it seemed impossible to worsen, Catherine fired again, this time targeting her abdomen. Jessica sustained multiple hits, the pain almost unbearable. Somehow, despite the blood loss and shock overwhelming her system, Jessica found the strength to move. She managed to drag herself toward the exit, her only escape from this horror. Her legs were failing. Every movement caused agony, but she refused to surrender. Using every remaining ounce of strength, she pushed through the pain. Neighbors who heard the gunshots rushed to help as Jessica, barely conscious, made it outside, clinging to life while they contacted emergency services. She was rushed to safety, seemingly defying odds by surviving such brutality. But Jessica had done it. She had escaped death, if barely. Police arrived at the scene and questioning began, but Catherine maintained it was self-defense. What started as a heated argument had escalated into brutal violence, and now as Jessica fought for survival in the hospital, the truth began unraveling piece by piece. Questions mounted while answers remained unclear. Investigators quickly assembled evidence, noting signs of struggle and inconsistencies. The gunshot wounds raised red flags. Catherine had fired at point-blank range, unusual for self-defense. The close proximity seemed suspicious. Why shoot from such a distance, unless there was more to the story? Catherine claimed fear drove her actions, but as police investigated further, it became apparent this wasn't simple self-defense. Details suggested darker undertones between the women, years of unresolved tension, jealousy, and infidelity reaching a breaking point. The investigation shifted to examine their relationship. What drove Catherine to this moment? Was this truly self-defense, or had Catherine snapped after years of emotional turmoil? While answers remained unclear, puzzle pieces began fitting together. Jessica's survival seemed miraculous. Shot 11 times, her body battered but unbroken. Hours of surgery and multiple transfusions couldn't erase the horror. Daily she fought for strength, but the trauma ran deeper than physical wounds. The emotional impact was just beginning. Jessica knew this attack, this betrayal, would leave scars requiring far more time to heal. News of the shooting rapidly spread, shocking the community. A wife shooting her partner, how could this happen? People were stunned, but Catherine maintained her self-defense claim despite surrounding outrage and confusion. She insisted she'd been pushed to extremes. Public disbelief only deepened the mystery of that morning's events. For Jessica's family, pain transcended her physical recovery. They felt angry, confused, frustrated, sensing something wasn't right. They struggled to understand why Catherine faced no immediate charges. Police investigation seemed stalled, and as they awaited answers, helplessness grew. They knew Jessica was the victim, yet Catherine remained free. After the shooting, Catherine's behavior raised more questions than answers. Despite claiming self-defense, her demeanor seemed inappropriate. She remained calm, almost detached, as if the gravity hadn't registered. As Jessica Morgan fought for life, Catherine's composure disturbed those who knew her. Jessica's family couldn't ignore the warning signs, having observed Catherine's behavior for years. Something about her shooting reaction felt wrong. They suspected her story didn't match reality. They wondered if relationship pressure had caused Catherine to snap, or if more calculated reasons existed. The investigation should have brought clarity, but raised disturbing questions instead. After recovery, Jessica revealed the shooting stemmed from their relationship argument. Her divorce request had pushed Catherine over the edge. What should have been a discussion about separation had turned violent. Jessica stated, "She wanted me dead because she always believed if she couldn't have me, nobody could." As investigation continued, it became clear Catherine wouldn't escape consequences. Legal experts and public opinion debated potential charges. Would she face attempted murder or lesser charges? The case transcended that day's events. It was about legal consequences. Catherine claimed self-defense, but evidence mounted against her. Tension grew awaiting formal charges. Public reaction split. Some supported Catherine, believing panic justified her actions. Others were horrified by the violence and rapid escalation. Media coverage exploded, commentators questioning how love could turn so violent. The case raised uncomfortable questions about love, jealousy, and violence on social media. How could someone who promised love and care cross such boundaries? What caused Catherine's anger to fester into something deadly? This wasn't simply one person harming another. It revealed how deeply betrayal, jealousy, and broken trust can wound. What do you think occurred that day? Self-defense or something more sinister? Share your thoughts in the comment below. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please give it a like. Share it with others, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more impactful stories. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.